So, ladies and gentlemen, last night we got the announcement for World of Warcraft Dragonflight. I have, of course, spent the last 12 hours plus, like any good content creator would, trolling Twitter and trying to figure out what everyone thinks and feels and what exactly is it that we're gonna get with World of Warcraft Dragonflights. The title of the video, of course, is probably going to be something like, is it too early to be hyped for WoW Dragonflight? Something to that effect. We'll see how it goes, right? We'll see what we can think of. I want to talk about the announcement last night. The good, the bad, the amazing, the potential. What can we expect from World of Warcraft Dragonflight? And then also about some of the community gripes that I've been seeing over on Twitter, which is a cesspool. At the best of times. So, you know it's going to get spicy. Remember, you can join us live on Twitch. The link is in the description down below. All right, so let's first talk about the announcement. And I'm going to get the really bad thing out of the way before we start diving into some of the good things. And there are a lot of good things that was announced last night. The bad thing for me, the baddest thing for me was the actual presentation. At a time when World of Warcraft really needs to clean up its image, at a time where gamers have very little trust in this company, they come out with a presentation that the last time I saw a presentation like this was, I think, kindergarten or maybe primary school when I was very, very young. You know the type, right? We got it last night where someone will ask a question that they so obviously know the answer to, but it's a leading question because the question is meant to lead into this massive announcement. And then after they announce it, they seem to try and do this little banter thing. Oh my God, I'm so excited for that. I've always said, I really want to get, it's like they're trying to mimic a conversation between each other, and it just did not hit. I found it very cringe at the best of times. I really didn't like the format. It felt so staged and so rehearsed, and also what I thought would have been an actual live show did not feel live. It felt like all of this was pre-recorded, and at some point, John Haidt, the producer for World of Warcraft, makes a comment where I just love seeing all the positivity in the comment section, in the chat section, and I'm like, dude, you didn't look at the chat. You did not look at the chat. This is so clear that you guys aren't actually sitting there streaming like normal, and you have a chat and you are keeping an eye on chat. That was sort of shoehorned in there to make it seem a little bit more live. So I really didn't enjoy that. I think personally what World of Warcraft needed to do here was dial back the antics. Have a couple of people sit in front of a computer and talk to the community. Show the cinematic, show the deep dive content, and then talk to the community. Take questions from chat. When you see a question in chat that looks interesting, you have so many mods that can pull questions for you. Answer those questions. Talk to the community about what they can expect. Make it personal, make it real. Very much borrow from the live letters with Yoshi P and the Final Fantasy XIV community, where he sits down, he doesn't have a script, he has no idea what turn that is going to take. It's usually 6+ hours for these live producer letters, but at the end of it, you have so much information that you walk away with. So that's sort of my first gripe. It's not the largest gripe in the world, I grant you, but it is one that I had. Now, on to the actual content, and here's where things get really cool, in my opinion. First and foremost, the Dragon Isles looks amazing, but it has a feel to it, which very unique. It's kind of a merger between vanilla World of Warcraft and Mist of Pandaria. The Mist of Pandaria part comes from this very unknown island that we're going to, very beautiful, lush, very otherworldly almost. It is something that we've seen on Azeroth before. It's not like it's completely different to Azeroth. It doesn't have water that you can walk on, of course, but it also feels very ancient, very prehistoric almost, you can see the history within the zone. So I'm really, really excited for the world itself. Everything that was announced gave me vanilla feels though. It almost felt like they were dialing back the massive hype announcements, the marketing tools, as it were. And make no mistake, I genuinely believe that the last 3 expansions every single system that was added to the game were added for marketing hype. Covenants were added completely so that they could market it, so that they could say, you have a choice and your choice will actually matter. Torghast was hyped specifically for marketing, and it all fell flat towards the end of it. Now, much of the gripe on Twitter is that there's not enough. We wanted to see more. Where's all the systems to get excited about? And to you, I would say, if I'm correct, of course, and I could be very wrong, my speculation could be completely off here, but the sense that I got from this expansion was less is more. Let's promise what we know we can deliver on, what we know we can pull off, instead of trying once again to do 4 or 5 different covenants, to do all these different stories, to do all these different systems. You know, we need to pull off legendaries, we need to pull off Torghast, we need to pull off the covenants, we need to pull off the conduits, we need to deliver on all of these things. Rather than try to deliver on all of those things, how about you focus on the things that you know you could deliver? Talents. The new talent trees look amazing. Just today, actually, Brian Linker asked a question. He asked people to ask him questions about the talent system. And one of the questions I asked him is the system future-proof? Are you just once again throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this first iteration of the system, which means next expansion, you have nothing that you can add. If you add more, it just becomes bonkers and it's unrealistic, and now suddenly people are dealing with bloated talent trees again, right? So is the system implemented with the full knowledge that this is an MMO and there will be subsequent expansions coming after this one? Or, you know, like I said, it's just another bloat face that eventually will have to be walked back as they realize, oh shit, this is not going to work. So I really want to get answers on that. But overall, I think this is something we've been asking for a long time. I love the idea of having a class talent tree and then also a spec talent tree. I really hope that this talent tree isn't going to be all, end all, full in everything. I hope that there is a lot of choice and that there is a limited number, and I think there is. They did say that you're going to be able to have different talent trees. I'm talking specifically about the class one, not so much the spec one. I know for a fact is going to have limited talent points, and you're not going to have every single one of those talents highlighted. The class one is the one that I want to know. Is it going to be the same? So am I also going to have to make very hard choices based on the type of content that I'm doing? Because that, I think, is one of the allures of the original talent system. The Dragonflight thing, sure, this was 1-for-1 copied from Guild Wars 2. I don't have a problem with the fact that they copied this from Guild Wars 2. Right off the bat, don't have a problem with it. If you think there is games that do unique things, you're high on fucking whatever. I don't know what you're smoking. I want some. Because all games is a copy of something else. Now, granted, very few games will actually 1v1 copy exactly what another game has, and World of Warcraft did do exactly that from Guild Wars 2. They stole the whole Dragonflights thing from Guild Wars 2. The only issue I can see there is this now has to live up to what Guild Wars 2 already delivers, and from what I've spoken to people about, the feature in Guild Wars 2 is absolutely phenomenal. So you've just set the bar for yourself extremely high. You're going to have to deliver on that, and maybe you won't be able to. So we'll have to wait and see. But all in all, those are the features, you know. Yes, we got UI revamps. Very excited for those. The UI actually looks very slick. I personally think that this will also allow add-on creators to be even more creative with the stuff that they do, since you wouldn't deal with a lot of the implemented or the inherent limitations of the actual WoW engine. So this could actually be really cool, but it's also going to give new players who don't know anything about add-ons the ability to move and shift and do a couple of things with their UI to make the UI stand out a bit more. So personally, huge fan of the UI changes. The profession changes, I need more answers to. What they showed me was a UI. They told me there's going to be tables, and they told me there's going to be gear, which is really cool. But what exactly is professions going to become? Is professions actually going to be a viable way to play the game? Will I actually be able to play the game as a crafter not wanting to do any other content, I just want to craft? Or is it still going to be a supplementary system? So something to keep yourself busy with if you feel like it, but it doesn't have much bite. So I really want to see what Blizzard does with the crafting thing. I think crafting have been criminally neglected in World of Warcraft in the past, and that is something that I really want Blizzard to answer at some point. The truth is, let's move out of the semi-scripted stuff, all the notes that I have that I wanted to talk about, and let's just sit down and talk for a bit. Very little was announced here. We got highlights of all the things that is planned, and I think looking at the list of things that is planned, I can see how Blizzard can deliver on this. It's not an abundant list, but it is a list that is solid. If Blizzard delivers on all of those things and they make it perfect, Dragon Isles is going to be a really fun expansion for almost everyone. Almost. There's always going to be people that complain. I am salty that there is no housing system in Dragon Isles. I'm very, very fucking salty about that. But, maybe we don't know what we don't know, right? Maybe the engine just can't deliver on a housing system, and they're still working, trying to figure that out. Maybe they announce at the launch of the game that housing will be coming later in a patch. Maybe we still get that. We don't know. At this point, all I can say is, based on what was delivered, I believe they can... based on what was promised, I believe they can deliver. But it is a waiting game here. What we got last night is the bare minimum of what one could expect. What I want to see now is diving into more of the lore side of things, because we got very little on that side, which for me is actually the most criminal thing. I wanted to know a little bit more about the lore, a little bit more about the story, and more specifically, I really hope that there is going to be some kind of explanation here. We just went from killing a Titan plus, fuck you, to struggling with dragons. I don't know how that's going to help or how that's going to work. We technically should be able to 1v1 almost any normal enemy at this point in World of Warcraft. So I really hope that they're going to do a job there of actually borrowing from Final Fantasy XIV in terms of its narrative design and give us something that makes sense. Why would we possibly struggle with stuff like this right now? So yeah, this is sort of my off-the-cuff bare bones thoughts. Tonight, during the live stream, we are going to go through all of the interviews that was done, because there's going to be a lot of interviews. We're going to go through a lot of my thoughts and my chat's thoughts and what people are thinking and feeling and whatnot. To all of the patrons, by the way, tonight after the stream, we will go live with the Livecraft episode, where you will be able to dive in and actually give us your thoughts, and myself, Apocalypse, and Morny and Andy will give you our discussions. I know Apocalypse isn't as positive as I am. I'll end this video with the following. I think people should temper their expectations. I also think that people should not pre-order once pre-order goes live. Let's wait for more information. I am, at this point, at best, hot and cold on the new expansion. There's things that I really think could work. There's things that I really think is kind of meh. We'll have to wait and see. I am not again gonna. I'm never again going to be drawn into the hype that Blizzard so obviously wants to create. At this point, I want to see what is it that Blizzard delivers, and if I can see good things, I'll buy it. How about that? I think that's a good way to end the video. Yeah. If you liked it, please remember to hit the like button. If you enjoyed it so much that you actually want to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button. Hey, if you disliked it, hit that fucking dislike button. While you may not see the dislikes, I can see the dislikes, and it hurts my feelings. So do it if you think, who the fuck is this fat guy talking to me on the internet? To all of the patrons, the YouTube channel members, and the Twitch subs, thank you so much for your support. It means the absolute world to me. Remember, you can support me by clicking the links in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, be kind to each other. Be good to each other. And I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.